And you are now listening to Pop Fellas Radio.
All right, by popular demand, we have Howard Scott here on the show. How are you doing today, Mr. Scott?
Hey, Louis, it's an honor to be on your show, and just a shout out to people in Southern California. Much love to everybody. Yeah, I'm good today. I'm calling you, you calling me. I'm here in Arlington, Texas, and all your listeners, please believe y'all are very, 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 very blessed to be in California. Because Texas, well, we'll talk about that later, but California's the spot to be.
You know, it's kind of good. You know, California. You know, I know you miss that California weather.
I do.
You have to. I mean, you're a staple here in California. You raised here, born here, so I know you miss it. When I go to other places, the weather is just not the same. We're very blessed here.
Look, man, I tell you, when I come to California, as soon as I get off the plane at LAX, and we're coming down Century Boulevard, get to Western, we make a right on Western, go down to 135th Street. You got to stop at always for me. Stop at Ramona's and get a burrito, because I'm telling you, here in Texas, these people in Texas, they do not know how to make a decent burrito. So I go to Ramona's every time I get to LA. I get about 3 or 4 of the burritos, and I eat them, and I'm ready to rock and roll, man. I'm back at home.
There you go. There you go. And you know, that is why, you know, you're so important musically. I mean, like we've talked about this before, is that me being Mexican American and growing up here in Southern California, you know, the music that you produced and was part of and composed has really been the soundtrack of my childhood.
Yeah.
It really, you know, and being that you also are from Southern California, I just kind of want to talk about basically where you're from and how this whole Howard Scott thing started.
Well, I was born in San Pedro, California.
Right.
And when I was about 4 or 5 years old, my parents moved from Channel Heights, up down the top of that hill, from Channel Heights to Compton.
Okay.
And you know, I grew up in Compton, California. I was born in Pedro. I grew up in Compton. I got all my roots, Mama Plain, in Compton, and you know, I think all my roots in playing and just getting around with people started up in Compton.
Wow. And being raised in Compton during that time, I you know, for the music that you make, I mean, growing up, what were your influences?
Well, it started off, I guess my first start off, my father was, you know, my father played guitar. He played like folk guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was playing, I pretty much, you know, I guess I was too young to even appreciate the style of guitar that he played.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my first influence. And then, you know, growing up in Southern California had its own music, you know, other places didn't. But we had our own radio stations, and we had our own music growing up. And the community that I grew up in, you know, you could go down the street and you hear Mexican music playing all day long. You go across the street, you hear blues playing. So I grew up with this whole mixture of everything. It's just, that's who I am.
You know, and it shows in the music. It shows in the music that you've worked on.
Yeah.
What was your big break that when you started taking it to that next step, your music into that next step and trying to do more with it?
Well, I think when we're a high school band, when we were growing up in California, in high school, we had a band called The Creators. That was myself.
Mm-hmm.
Starting up, that was myself, Harold Brown, and George Brown. And, you know, that was the first band we had. It's called The Creators, our high school band.
Oh.
That morphed into bringing Lonnie Jordan into the band,
mm-hmm.
bringing B.B. Dickerson into the band, bringing Harold and myself. That was a core of war starting up back there in The Creators. And I was in high school.
High school, wow.
So all through high school, all through high school, we played, man, we had a hot band in Los Angeles. We were always good at creating music and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we traveled from Los Angeles. Every summer we would go to El Paso.
Oh, wow.
And we'd go to El Paso. And since one summer came to El Paso, we got so broke that we had to live in Juarez. So we'd go back and forth. We stayed in Juarez. We'd go from Juarez across that bridge every night, play in El Paso, go back across there. Because it was cheaper. We could eat and, you know, sleep and stuff in peace. It was pretty cool back in the days.
Yeah, it's not like it is now.
Well, a little bit different now, man. You know, I don't think I want to stay in Waters now.
No, you don't. Wow, Juarez, though. Wow, and going back and forth. That's really, that's really trying to save the money, huh?
Well, yeah, look, man. The thing is that the promoters and the guys that brought us to El Paso, they made sure that that we was going to stay there for a while because we ran up this hotel bill. Everybody thought you go to the hotel, you sign something that you didn't have to pay for, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had hamburgers and steaks and all this stuff. But after a weekend, the hotel bill said, "Well, you guys owe us this much money." So, well, we owe you what? And you're paying us what? So it didn't match. So we had to work that bill down. And the way we could work that bill down successfully is you go to Juarez where the rent was cheaper.
Wow.
We could put 4 people in a room, and they would come back and forth and save money. That's the only we got to come back to Southern California, man. That was a pleasure. But that was a learning process, too. Good one. Yeah.
Wow, and how old were you at this time? I mean, if you remember,
17.
17. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, back and forth in Juarez at 17 years old.
Yeah, I remember coming to Juarez and Sonny and the Sunlighters were playing at the Coliseum in El Paso. Mm-hmm. And I sit back and say, boy, I admire that. I could see my name one day. We'll be playing in the Coliseum in El Paso or anywhere, any Coliseum. It's Sunday in the Sunlight. Talk to me, da-da-da. Talk to me, da-da-da-da-da. You know, remember that song?
Yes.
Oh, no, you don't. That was before your time.
I do. No, I know my music very well. I promise you.
Well, anyway, then you asked me. That was those guys were headlining at the El Paso Coliseum. We were playing at a little joint on Bourbon Street called. Bourbon Street, I forgot the name of that club right now. Basin Street East. That was the name of it.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow. And so when you came back to California, I take it that a lot of doors were opening or a lot of opportunities were about to arise, correct?
Oh, no. Look, I had to get drafted and go out to be in the United States Army for 2 years, which was like,
yeah, I was about to lead to that right now. That's why I said that because I know that about you that you're drafted. In what year was that?
That was 65.
Oh, so it was early draft.
1965. Back in them days, I had to serve 2 years. I went away and did my time, served my country, put my hand on my heart, loyal American. Mm-hmm. Came back and all the guys had disbanded. B.B. Dickerson was in Hawaii. Lonnie Jordan was up in Santa Barbara. Harold Brown was working on a machine shop. And here I am back in Southern California ready to play some music, and everybody's gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had to start from scratch again.
Yeah, we started from scratch. The band we started back, said, okay, let's give it another shot.
Uh-huh.
Was called The Night Shift. The
Night Shift, okay.
The Night Shift, and we got that band together. And you remember the song called "Letter to"? I wrote a letter to Maria, a message at her. Said I won't be coming back. What is it? A Letter to Maria?
Yes.
You remember that song?
Yes.
Anyways, a guy by the name of. We played behind his name was Sonny Childs when we played behind. When he went to New York and made that song, he changed his name to R.B. Greaves. R.B. Greaves. So we played behind R.B. Greaves and then Deacon Jones. Deacon Jones was a defensive end for the L.A. Rams. L.A. Rams back in L.A. now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But Deacon Jones was, he's a Hall of Famer, man. Anybody want to Google Deacon Jones?
Yes.
You can Google that guy. He was one of the best defensive ends ever. And played behind him. Did his singing career, and he was singing, and we had a band behind him called The Night Shift. Wow. We were rocking that place, man. We were playing at a club in North Hollywood called the Ragdoll.
Yes.
And during our time playing at the Ragdoll, Lee Oscar, Eric Burden, Jerry Goldstein, and Steve Gold, they all came into that club and sit back and watch us play. They were watching us besides Deacon. They needed a band for Eric. And am I good talking?
Yeah.
You want to hear this?
Yes, please. We all want to hear this. I can tell you right now
okay.
that my mom is in Corona, sitting right now listening to this, and one of her favorite songs of all times came out of that first album. So please go ahead.
Okay. Well,
Everybody wants to know this stuff. This is what Funk Fellas Radio is about: is to really have people hear these stories, because these are stories that need to be told, and we want to hear.
okay. Well, we're upstage on stage playing, and Lee Oscar comes walking up on stage. You know, he had his little leather coat on, his harmonica belt, and I see this guy coming up. You know, and we started to jam with him. He came up and pulled up his harp and started playing. And man, I said, this guy right here can play. Actually, he can play his harp. And we got into a real good groove behind him, man, and just tore that club absolutely apart. So Eric was, giving this a seal of approval. So they said, listen, they said, we want to have a meeting with you guys right here. We had a 10-piece band. And they said, minus all your horns. Just keep the one horn player with Charles Miller. So we had this meeting. We had a meeting out at the beach. You know, we're going out there straight out of Compton, man. We don't know nothing about going to mansions and stuff. And here we are, man, in the mansion, and eating lox and bagels. I said, I'm not eating none of that, man. None of that for me. See, I'm still eating burritos.
Burritos,
Hell yeah. Not no but lox and bagels. So we had this meeting, and they said, okay, we want you guys to come in and play form a band behind Eric Burden. With Lee Oscar. Listen to Lee Oscar instead of the horn section. Eric Burden had this concept of having harmonica and tenor sax. I do all that to him because that was his way of using a different type of horn section. So that's what we did. We got Eric Burden and War. We rehearsed. And the first song we did was Spill the Wine.
Spill the Wine. A classic forever.
Forever. And I'm still living in Compton when we did Spill the Wine, right? And it's playing on the radio and playing across the country, and I'm still living in Compton. Hey, look, hey, that's my song playing on the radio right now. They said, yeah, right, that's your song. Nobody believed me, man, that we had a song on the radio. It went to number one.
Yes.
Well, shortly after, I stayed in Compton for a lot of years, so I moved out of there.
Spill the Wine. Spill the Wine is very, very important because that song is really. I mean, before that, there was never any music like that.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. It was really a beginning of something amazing in a whole sound. I mean, you have that soul mixed in with that funk, mixed in with that Latin. I mean, it was just that's an amazing song.
I think that whole concept, that whole flavor of music right there came from our roots, just like growing up in Southern California, because we had the beach, we had East LA, we had Compton, there was a street in Compton that there was the Chicano, the Mexican community was like on the one side of Compton Boulevard, black community was on the other side. And what we did, in order to play music, you cross back and forth. We all just like played music together.
Yeah.
And there was a street in Compton called La 155, the fifth. And we would go over there, man, them gangbangers, man, Chicano brothers. That's them down, some hardcore dudes. But your music was what was important, man, just how music just like, transcends. So the music that we grew up with and started war, we just kind of had that in us all the time. That was a part of us.
Yeah. I mean, and me personally, because I'm a music buff and everything, I have to ask a little more into that song because tell me a little bit more about making that song. The involvement, you have involvement with Eric Burden and whatnot, and how you came up with that final sound.
It's just, I think what happened was we came from when we got with Eric Burden, we had never been on a stage with say 80 or 90,000 people. Here's a band that's used to be like a garage band. We were a garage band playing, but here we are. We walked on stage with Eric, and it was a show out in Devonshire Downs, and it was like there was thousands of people out there, man. There's thousands of people. We walked on stage with Eric Burden. Still had equipment from the Animals, from Animals, and they had like these box amplifiers that were like, they were like beat up because the Animals didn't even want to use them. and we went on stage, and boy, we had a what's this band? I tell you what, there was this band. We played. There was this band in front of us that was gonna come up behind us. They had a wall of matching amplifiers. It seemed like a mile long. It was Creedence Clearwater Revival. Right?
Oh wow!
We jumped on stage and we played our asses off, man. We had people just jumping out and screaming and hollering. And we were right in the middle of this little raggedy amplifiers and drums and stuff, and Eric screaming and hollering, doing Spill the Wine. And man, we rocked that place, rocked it. But we said, yeah, boys, nobody could come behind us. We were going down, getting off out of the concert area, and they creeped in. Boy, when they hit, man, it's just like a bomb went off. And bam! I said, whoa, what was that? That's the band is just headlining. Well, these cats right here, with all them amplifiers, well, that's what you get for going in front of Creedence Clearwater.
Oh yeah. Wow.
They took us to school that night, but I guarantee you one thing, we went down fighting.
Oh, totally with that song and that talent. Come on, and a lot of people. It's really funny. A lot of people have asked me this over the past few years, and even when I put down that you were going to be on the show, a lot of people ask me, different ages, you name it. Everybody's been asking me what that song means.
Spill the wine. Everybody says, spill the wine, take that pearl. And I'm going to leave it right there, okay? Because I'm not going to get into what Eric Burden came up with, taking that pearl and spill the wine. It's very deep, man. I'll tell you, when I see you and we get off radio and stuff, I'll tell you exactly what it is, okay? I'll tell you. But you can probably fill in the blanks right now.
I think I can.
But if whatever you think, that's what it is.
All right, cool. Okay, we were right there.
Taking the pearl and spilling the wine, and the wine wasn't white.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And you know what? And another thing too is everybody always asks about is, that whose idea was it to put that woman in the background speaking Spanish?
That was Eric's idea. That was his girlfriend.
Was it really?
Yeah. Her name was Carmen. Really cool lady, man. Yeah, but that was his signature. I still like that, man. Every time I get a chance to do a real hip Latin song, I'll do the same thing because that was kind of unique at the time to come up with that sexy voice. But yeah, that was Eric's idea.
Oh wow, that is just amazing. That's one thing even my mom always asks about is that in that background. I mean, to me that was just nothing had been done like that.
No,
it just really added an ambiance. You feel like you were part of that song, like whatever's going on, you're right there. You know what I mean? Like this is really happening. It doesn't go with the music. It just kind of goes in the background, a woman talking and it being in Spanish. I mean, that was it. You had the Latin community right there.
Yeah, when we did that song and it really started to hit and it started growing and growing and growing. Spill the Wine was so unique in so many different areas because it was such a Latin group, and he brought this girl in, speaking Spanish, and it's this whole flavor of just spill the wine, take that pearl, just like this underground message that's there. It was, and then we played with Eric. I think some of my best years, even today. I mean, I have fun playing, but I had more fun playing with Eric Burden and War. Because I guess just like coming up, it was such a carefree environment. We were just coming up. We were fearless, and everything was so new. And I have to tell you, when playing with Eric Burden, I bought a Mercedes. My first Mercedes was a 1971 Mercedes, and it cost me $9,500.
Wow!
And had 8 miles on it. 8 miles, a brand new, $9,500, man. And I was able to buy that sucker. I'm making $200 a week. That was real money back in them days.
Oh, I know. Hey, but you were still eating those burritos, right?
All the time.
That's how you save that money.
Wait, hold up, man. I used to get up in the morning after and start drinking and stuff. And I said, God, I got a hangover. I had to drive out to like East LA, someplace to get some noodle. Man, not just, that was for breakfast, man. What are you talking to? This is Howard Scott. They call me Geronimo Culpepper.
How funny. And so, that album was amazing. Tobacco Road, all that stuff, that whole album was an amazing album. I can hear that album over. It's one of those albums that you can put on, and it really takes you on a ride when you listen to that whole album.
we did 2 albums with Eric Burden. One was The Black Man's Burden,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and the other one was Eric Burden Declares War.
Yes.
And the Eric Burden Declares War was the second. It was a double album.
Mm-hmm.
With the album with Eric on the front and the girl on the front with with this he was sitting between the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Jimi Hendrix's girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah. That was one of Jimi.
One of, yeah.
Yeah, because he had a bunch, man. But that girl right there was she was about 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of Jimmy's girlfriend. But that album right there, the president of MGM Records at the time, his name was Mike Curb.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Curb, at the time when he was doing all his Eric Burden and War albums, he thought that he had War signed to his label as well as Eric Burden, but it wasn't like that because our management, they're pretty slick guys.
Mm-hmm.
They had War separately. They were going to sign War for another label, which was United Artists.
Yeah.
So Mike Curb, when he found out that what was going on there, he took that what was it, Black Man's Burden? Yeah, Black Man's Burden. That album, the double album.
Yeah.
And he canned it. You can't hardly find it. That one's probably sitting someplace in a warehouse full of dust because he didn't promote that one at all.
Oh yeah.
That one should have been a real big record for Eric Burden and War, and it wasn't.
Oh. Yeah. But you know what? Hey, Declared War made up for it.
Well, yeah. When we started doing stuff for like War, that was a whole another thing because War came out. War was ready to get out there and start throwing down. We'd gotten so good behind Eric. Eric would let us come out. We'd play like a set before him, and then he would come up with this whole great show.
Mm-hmm.
War was ready. War was ready to come out and make its own mark.
Yeah, and definitely did. I mean, I know. So, after this album, I know that now, all these doors open. Everybody definitely knows who you are, and I have to ask this: during this time, did you guys start touring out of the United States yet?
Oh yeah. We toured the whole world.
And how was your experience for the first time being from over here in Compton and all this to actually leave the country and play your music in a whole nother country? That must have been like a crazy feeling.
It was great feelings. I'll give you one of the examples of when when we got BB Dickerson back to Eric Burden. Well, he was in Hawaii,
mm-hmm.
and the bass player that we had, his name is Peter Rose, and he kind of like got into a conflict with with the manager and stuff, so he had to go. So we got BB back,
mm-hmm.
and when BB came in from flying from the airport from Hawaii, they picked BB up and brought him over to where we were having our first meetings, party and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
BB walked into the party. It was Eric Burden, it was War, all the guys, B. Charles, BB, Harold, and Lee. And he walks into this whole mess, and here's Jimi Hendrix sitting over there.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, one of his idols, and I'm sitting back and just talking to Jimmy, because by that time, we were just all cool. It was like everything was everything. And BB walks in to Jimi Hendrix in the set here, and, we were all just having this great time. So during the process of playing with Eric Burden and War and touring overseas, as you say,
mm-hmm.
we were the last band to play with Jimi Hendrix before he died. And that
Really?
was Ronnie Scott. Yeah. That was Ronnie Scott of London.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's to meet a legend like that's amazing, or be on the same stage. That's just amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, it was the experience was when Jimmy came into Ronnie's. He came up and he was walking through the audience, and I said, "Here comes Jimmy," and he had a Strat in his hand, and he's coming up to play.
Mm-hmm.
So he came back. I grabbed my guitar and pulled it out. I said, "I'm getting out of here. Here's Jimi Hendrix. There's no way I'm still Jimi Hendrix playing." So he told me to stay.
Wow.
He said, "Stay." He said, "Stay. Put your guitar back in." I said, "Okay." Plug it back in, and I'm playing behind Hendrix. My knees are shaking, man. I'm not used to this right here. A lot of things, man, but not playing behind Jimmy. Jimmy's the number one player in the planet, man.
Yeah.
And I'm playing behind him, playing chords behind him, playing his blues lick, and then he says, "Take a solo." I said, "Oh Lord, I'm gonna make a fool of myself." So I started playing my Howard Scott solo. Howard Scott getting confidence up, and I was down. My knees stopped shaking, and now me and him are trading licks.
Wow.
Well, yeah, and it got to be such a beautiful experience, man. We just like had this great experience playing, and that next night Jimmy was supposed to come back and play with us, and he didn't come back and play because he passed away that night.
Oh, wow. So it was really that close to his death then that you were with him.
With last guitar player to ever play with Hendrix was me.
Wow. I did not know that. I mean, I've read all about you and everything. I did not know that.
Last guitar player was myself, and the eerie thing about it was that we were staying on a Holiday Inn in London, and I don't know how this even happened. I'm staying in one bed, and Hendrix's guitar was in the next bed, his Strat.
Mm-hmm.
It stayed there for 2 days before they came and got it. I didn't even pick it up. I never even touched it.
Wow.
I wouldn't even play it, man. I said, man, there was too much magic on that guitar. That was Jimmy's guitar, and it was in my room for 2 days after he died.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
They said, Jimmy wants you to have that guitar. I said, no, he didn't. I said, no, he didn't. They said, this is his guitar, and wherever it goes, it goes. It's not for me to have. It was for me to take care of it till he took it from me.
Wow. That is, I did not know that. This is
Well,
this is the stuff the internet does not help you with. That's why you're on this show. It's just it's amazing these stories like that. I mean, what a memory to have and just to realize that you were the last one to really jam with him. That's
well, a lot of people just don't know that. It was Eric Burden. He came in jam with Eric Burden and Ward. We all played with him, but when you talk about guitar players going standing up on the same lick, there was only 2 guitar players on that stage that night, me and Jimmy.
Wow.
And boy, we went at it, and it was very, very clear that I started playing Howard Scott licks, and he's playing Jimi Hendrix licks, and I'm telling you, there's no player that ever could match Jimi Hendrix to today. But I had the opportunity of being the last guitar player to play with him.
All I know is I need a time machine because I want to go back and hear you both on stage. I mean, I'm sure that was amazing. 2 legends on stage.
CD is out there, man. It's available.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I got to get that. We got to talk about that.
There was this guy sitting in the audience who had a tape recorder, and he recorded the whole thing. And my manager at the time, Steve Gold, saw him with that and bought the tape off of him for like 50 pounds, probably about $150.
Mm-hmm.
And that got to be very, very, that tape right there, if you could find it, you could hear the whole thing. We were playing a song by Eric Burden called Mother Earth, and it's a blues tune. Really good.
Oh, wow.
Jimmy was playing his tail off, man. You could hear the pain in his guitar licks.
Oh, yeah. And after meeting him and playing on the same stage as him, and after what happened, did it influence you as a guitar player after that?
I mean, yeah, it was just, for me, just knowing that I was invited to stay with him, invited to play with him. He told me to stay. And when it came to taking the guitar solo, he asked me to play. He said, take a solo. And I wasn't going to, and all these things, it did influence me because Jimmy, like I said, he was, to me, still the number 1 guitar player ever was Hendrix. Some guys could talk about playing licks and playing rock and roll and stuff. Nobody could compare to Hendrix. Yeah, it did influence me.
Oh, wow, that's an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that little story with my listeners. I love this. This is like bliss for me to hear this stuff. It's amazing. I'm glad you're sharing this.
Yeah.
So after this first album and you're doing all your stuff, now you're working on your second album. And now basically you know everybody loves your music, loves the band and everything and what you're doing. So, and now you're with United Artists, correct?
Oh, okay. But our first war had got to be sort of like this beast that's getting ready to come out. We start playing. It was such a jam band, and we played behind Eric so tough we would just lock into a song and we could play it forever.
Mm-hmm.
the first album that we put out for United Artists was War with All the Fingers on it.
Yeah.
I wrote a song called Son Oh Son.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I wrote it for BB Dickinson to sing. And the first War album was this is supposed to be like this is going to be the first album we come out, break out. War is going to be this number one band. But that didn't happen like that. The first War album was sort of lackluster because we weren't ready for it. They threw us out there way too quick. And me as a writer, I had to come up with some more things at the time. I'm not going to go into what we did with the first War album, because the first War album, we were still doing songs from the creators, like songs we wrote in the creative days that didn't fly. The second War album, I came up with a song that I wrote when I was with Eric Burden called Slipping Into Darkness.
Yes. Oh.
Slipping Into Darkness.
That is an anthem.
Yeah, that song right there opened up the door, broke War. Slipping Into Darkness made War, give War the opportunity to put in All Day Music, Lowrider, Why Can't We Be Friends, all the songs that came after Slipping Into Darkness. With Slipping Into Darkness made it possible for War to be the band that it is today. Even though I'm not in the band, I've been in it for years. I'm with the Lowrider band. Howard Scott wrote that song right there. I wrote it.
That song is, I'm telling you, that song is one of the most powerful songs. Just hearing that song, the soul in, you feel the pain, you feel everything in that song. What was your inspiration for writing that, if I may ask?
If you want to hear the whole story.
This is Funk Fellas Radio. You damn right I want to hear it.
Okay, well, when we were playing with Eric Burden and War, we were on tour in London. And we were walking around, and I walked into, I saw this pair of English riding boots with the pretty boots, I saw these, and I went into the store to buy them, and I wanted them, but my foot is size 11. These boots were 10 and a half. So I squeezed my foot in there, like a fool, put the thing on. I said, maybe if I get it, I could wear it. I said, it's too tight. So the guy says, we got to take the boot off. So he says, well, it's kind of hard to get off. So he started pulling on the boot to get it off. And he pulled it so hard, he pulled my back out.
Oh.
He got the boot off, but he pulled my back out, and I was in all this pain. So I went back to the hotel, and they called this doctor in. His name was Dr. Raymond. Dr. Raymond, never forget this guy. He came in and said, okay, Mr. Scott, pull your britches down. And he gave me a shot of Demerol. Big time shot. Boy, it looked like a gallon of it. And I said, boy, that stuff's kind of good. I like that. And I was saying, I'm slipping. I watched that. I'm slipping in the darkness, I slipped all the way into this whole thing. The next day when I woke up, I said, damn, that was a trip. I said, I slipped in the darkness. So I said, when I was slipping in the darkness, when I heard my mother say, you've been slipping in the darkness, I said, dang, that's pretty cool. I started writing this whole song about slipping in the darkness. I said, Eric, I got a song for you. It's called Slipping in the Darkness. He said, oh, no, maybe I don't want to hear that. I don't like that. He didn't like it. So I put it on the back burner. I didn't bring it out on the first War album because I didn't think it was ready.
Yeah.
Second War album came out, popped that Slipping in the Darkness out there, and bam, it hit with the song like Nappy Head.
Yes,
there were a few songs on that one. Nappy Head, Slipping in the Darkness. I can't tell you what else is on that one. There must be a reason why that was on the first one. I wrote those songs. I wrote a lot of songs for War.
Oh, of course you did. Oh, he definitely some of the best songs of all time are from you.
Yeah, but that Slipping in the Darkness was the song that opened up the door for War to be the band that it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is one amazing song. And you know what? I've had Demerol shots before, and nothing creative came out of it.
Well, I like I said, that right there, when I said it's Slipping in the Darkness, felt pretty good. If your back was hurting as bad as mine was, yeah. I was walking around with a cane over there for about a month.
Really? Oh, wow. That was a crazy injury then. Wow.
Yeah, well, you pulled my back completely out, man. It took me some years to get back.
Wow. So, this opened up the door. And, in talking about your other albums, I mentioned to you a little bit earlier. I remember, I think if I'm correct, the Why Can't We Be Friends album came out like in what, 75?
Yeah.
Okay, that is one of the earliest memories. I'm born in '73. You know, I'm putting my age out there. You know, I'm kind of a younger cat, but yeah.
You're a younger cat.
Yeah, but my parents raised me on the music, and that album cover as a child is one of the earliest album covers I remember. Because that with the smiling face on it and the go-to, you know what I mean? Yeah, that is one of my earliest memories of a record album cover. My mom's listening right now. No, she probably didn't know that, but yeah.
I'll tell you about that cover right there. That cover was taken from a character of our manager Steve Gold, and he was that's his face.
Really?
And the gold tooth and everything, that was him. That was him. That whole thing of Steve Gold, that's his whole character. But Why Can't We Be Friends? And I'm just interested about that. I wrote the song Why Can't We Be Friends? The song Lowrider, which got to be an anthem, got to be the biggest war song ever, came from Charles Miller.
Really?
Yeah. Charles Miller wrote Lowrider, and Lowrider was a song that was like a sleeper. You know, Why Can't We Be Friends? Don't Let No One Get You Down. So all those songs were just like flying all over the place, and Lowrider just like sleeping, just like way underneath, not doing very much. And then the Lowrider started saying, hey, wait a minute, I like this song. This is about me. When the Lowriders got hold to Lowrider, that was it.
So you were really surprised that this became so popular, that song.
Lowrider? Yeah, because Lowrider was overlooked. Lowrider was a song that nobody was paying attention to. I think when Up in Smoke came up, you know, when Cheech and Chong,
Smoke. Yeah, the beginning, yeah.
Even then, Lowrider didn't really take off. It didn't really take off from that point on. But then Lowrider sort of caught on. Something had to happen for Lowrider to catch on. And the Lowriders in Southern California made that song what it was. But then Lowrider got to be in so many movies, so many commercials, played all around the world.
George Lopez.
Forget about George Lopez show. That was just icing on the cake.
Exactly. Yeah,
but that got to be one of the biggest war songs ever.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, who doesn't know that song? You know,
babies know that song right there. Babies know Why Can't We Be Friends and Lowrider.
Yep. It's one of those songs. That's one of the. That's why I said that's one of the. Spill the Wine and Why Can't We Be Friends are one of the earliest memories I have of music.
Yeah.
You know, just amazing songs, and you know, and here you are putting out this stuff. I mean, during this time as a guitarist, I mean. What are you doing like to get yourself at that? We're going back to Howard Scott back then, like these albums, Why Can't We Be Friends, and everything's coming out. What are you, in your mind, how are you feeling about being, you know, now, you know, you're a world-known band, you're a well-known guitarist, you're producing and writing these songs. You know, what's going through your mind at that time? That this success is coming, like basically all of your hard work and all of your creativity is now being shown and showcased.
Look, as a person that writes on the entertainer, you know, Howard Scott, and when I moved from Compton, I moved from Compton, lived on Washington Street in Compton. I moved up to Palos Verdes Estates in the Red Tile District, and on top of the hill, right overlooking Santa Monica and Los Angeles. Here, Howard Scott is like, bam, you know, he's right there on top of the hill. I could look out and see the L.A. basin. I could look out and see the Santa Monica Bay. I could see Long Beach. I'm sitting on top of this hill, and this is what you get when you become successful. You know, you work at it, you keep doing stuff, and then you get to see all these pretty things around you. I'll tell you one day, I was on top of the hill, and I opened up my front door, and the clouds were like coming through. They were rolling off the top of the hill, and they rolled right through my living room into the across the patio there. Like you could walk on the clouds. I said, hey man, I'm walking in clouds. Can you believe this?
Literally.
I'm walking on clouds, and they come and go right through one door, right out the other.
Wow.
I really loved it up there.
Wow. That's real nice. So you know, but you're still eating burritos, right?
Oh, I'm driving from Palos Verdes to East LA. Now, there's a little bit further drive, but Sunday morning, I'm still doing the same thing. I got to get that menudo, homeboy, and the burritos, too.
Wow. So
that's just a part. I still I'm still doing that now. There's a place here in Texas. I finally found a place, mom and pop joint around here, that makes a pretty decent burrito. But still, it ain't like the ones they make in Southern California.
Oh, no.
Tex-Mex is nothing like you get. You know, it's the difference between Mexican food in California and Mexican food in Texas.
A big difference. That's the reason why it's Tex-Mex. It's a whole different deal. Yeah.
I don't like Tex. Well, the only thing about Tex-Mex, it's the only thing you can get. That's what you got to deal with. But when I'm coming to California, that's where it's at. Where I lay to get the good food out there.
It's true. It's true. And
it's very true.
You know, but and during this time too, here that you're still in Southern California, you know, at this time, how are the locals handling you? Like, because really, Southern California is just, I mean, probably anywhere in the world has the most love for your music. I mean, not saying no one else does, but I mean, because you're from here, your music reflects a lot of what we have here.
Well, I think what the Southern California does is they have a kinship. They own war. This is a part of them. The people now, but across the country, they like war. They deal with war. You know, they like war music. But in Southern California, it's a difference because this is our music. This band is a part of us. This is us. And they say we made this band, which is true. Mm-hmm. I mean, so when you talk about Southern California, there's a different feeling from being there because it's like a family affair almost.
It is. It's
yeah. And
can I add something in there? You're talking about Southern California. You know, I grew up in Northern California, San Jose.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
So we talked about it before, Howard. But I have to beg to differ a little because even though you're from Southern California, Northern California felt like they had you too when you did Outlaw.
Oh yeah.
Well, Outlaw, yeah.
Well, some of our biggest shows, like I say, were between Los Angeles and San Jose, and I always would come to San Jose, which is really a great place to do shows and stuff and hang out. But we do Lowrider shows up in San Jose, and I would say, boy, these brothers up here in San Jose got some of the cleanest, freakiest lowriders you ever want to see. And I was often wondering, I said, man, the San Jose lowriders better than the L.A. lowriders. It was just always in my mind. The competition was pretty steep, and I think the difference was that San Jose had a smaller community, and you know when you get all those guys together, just bam, you know, all the cars are just like so clean. L.A. had a way bigger, you know, lowrider community. When you see them all together, you know, it's like you have to look so far because there's so many.
Yeah.
But I couldn't judge to see which one was the best because they both were very, very, very competitive, very clean. I love San Jose.
You know, let's just say California's got you. How about that?
There you go.
California's got you.
Period, yeah.
I have one more question for you that I didn't ask you before. Was when we're talking about, you know, you wrote all the songs, you were writing all the songs for war, composing, singing on all the songs for war. When you guys left, you know, when the band stood up and you left war, what songs did they actually write and produce and compose afterwards that, you know, that they can account for? Have they done any? Oh, let me start counting right now. Here, let me tell you the number one song that they wrote since I left. Now let me go to number two song when they left. Nothing.
Yeah, of course not.
They wrote nothing since I was out of there.
No.
None. They wrote no songs. I think that the band, War as it stands today, they put out maybe about two or three albums, and they might have sold about maybe less than 100,000 copies of three albums. I can't give you the number, but you know, they couldn't compose the same kind of music because they didn't have the characteristics, the feeling that I have to like as a writer. The two main writers in War was myself and Papa D. Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Papa D. wrote "World is a Ghetto."
Yes.
And the song "Summer."
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it's summer, summertime is here. You like that song?
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah, well, you know me. That was all right with me. It wasn't my favorite, but it's okay.
You know what's really, you know what's a real big favorite? I mean, all of them are, all the music's on rotation. But I don't know if you know this, but I know a lot of people listening are going to tell you. I even have, it's one of the favorite, it's the favorite song of my promotion team that I have for Funk Fellas Radio Street Function. Even the children, our children, love this song, and you're going to be surprised what song it is. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Bad Mother Trucker.
Woo! Good Lord.
Everybody
man,
loves
God.
Bad Mother Trucker is one of those songs that I have to play once or twice at every event that I do at a club or an event or a concert. I always have to play Bad Mother Trucker.
Oh,
No matter what.
I wrote that one, man. I wrote that one, and that's when we were like on hiatus from Goldstein and Gold. We were out there doing some stuff with a label out of Florida called Cocoa Plum Records.
Mm-hmm.
And we put out Bad Mother Trucker, and it's playing all over the place. Bad Mother Trucker, baby, Bad Mother Trucker. So this kid comes home one day. He didn't say Bad Mother Trucker. He said Bad Mother F word. And his mother got so upset she called the radio station. Blah, 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 take that nasty record off. He says, he's my son's cousin. That was in the Bad Mother Trucker. Kids start saying bad motherfucker instead of bad mother trucker. So that's funny, boy. You brought that one up. That song I totally forgot about. That one totally forgot about Bad Mother Trucker.
How could you forget that? That is an
just a
anthem.
sleeper.
That is an anthem for Funk Village Radio. I'm not kidding. It's such an anthem that I had my birthday in June, and one of the daughters of one of my street function team, Allie, she actually made a picture for me. She painted a picture, and then she drew one, and she actually put the lyrics of Bad Mother Trucker on there. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. My kids will be singing that in the car, and I'm listening, going like, "Wow," you know what I mean? I'm just like, this song is like, how old are you? I mean, you're like 6 or 7 year olds that are singing this. You know,
I'm standing on a boulevard on Peak Clean. My pockets full of green. Look, man, you just asked me about that song with that. I totally forgot about Bad Mother Trucker until you said that.
Really? How could you forget that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That song is asked. Everybody wants to hear it.
Didn't really catch on, you know. And if it didn't catch on, I said, "Wow, I must have did something wrong."
You know what it is? I could tell you why you probably feel that way. I think what it is that song, I think, is considered to be in the funk community a funk song. It's not a soul song. It's not an R&B.
Yeah.
It's a funk song.
Yeah, but
pure funk.
It just didn't. I think it's kind of like didn't catch on like I thought it would. You know, Bad Mother Trucker and stuff like that. I thought, you know, this would be another breakout song, and when it wasn't a breakout song, you know, I was disappointed.
When my kids are saying "truck with me" or "you're going to pay the price," you know something's good.
Okay. Well, I tell you, I totally forgot about that song until you brought it up there.
Really? Yeah. It's on the rotation. It's played like all the time because everybody wants to hear it. A lot of people ask for it all the time. I have to play it at every event, no matter what.
Wow, that's amazing.
Really, I thought you would have known that because it's so huge. I mean, anybody who's listening, who's a Funk Fellas radio listener, will tell you, yeah, of course. Every time we're at an event, they have to play it. And I'm talking about, and when I play it, that dance floor fills every time.
Now I'm gonna go back and listen to it myself.
Wow, really? You should.
I haven't listened to that song in years.
Are you kidding? Are you serious? Yeah.
Look, I forgot about the song until you just said it today. Totally.
That song is played. I play that. That's one song I can tell you I probably play the most.
Wow. Well, you blew my mind with it because I thank you for doing it, and I'm glad there's people out there that recognize that song because it's given me a new way of thinking about it. But I haven't listened to that song in years, man, years.
Yeah, everybody who's in the chat right now, seriously, tell us how much you love that song because it's always asked for. I want all this to be on record. Everybody start posting up in the chat about it. That is one Bad Mother Trucking song.
And make sure you say truck instead of okay?
Yeah. My kids know too. My kids are real careful how they say that. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, it's one amazing song. You know, Outlaw, one of my favorites too, Outlaw.
Yeah, I wrote Outlaw too.
Outlaw. I play Outlaw quite a bit. That's another one that's on rotation. You know,
I wrote Outlaw from San Jose to East LA. I'm a motorcycle rider. Yeah. I like that one too. I mean, yeah, I wrote a lot of songs for that.
Oh, tell me about. I mean, really. I mean, I'm on the outside looking in, and I'm going to say this with all respect. You were the backbone of that band.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is me, Funk Fellas Radio, DJ Medina, because I have all the records. I'm a fan. I'm telling you, the songs that you composed, you produced, you played the guitar on, did all that stuff on, those are the anthems. those are the songs that I grew up on. Those are the songs that I have to play all the time. Those are the songs that everybody loves. And you know what? I'm thanking you for everybody who can't say it out loud to you right now, especially the Mexican American Chicano community, because you have been the soundtrack for us for years. You know,
Well, hey, I appreciate you being, just being on your show, being able to talk that, take the time and they let people know who I am and what I've done and some of the stories that I hope are interesting. But you got me with that Bad Mother Trucker. Let me tell you one that I think that I wrote that was really emotional for me was when I wrote the song "So."
yes, so it's a great song, great song.
And so was not a very nice song because to me when I sang it, I was in a very, very painful part of my life, and it comes out in the lyrics. But it's something that I had to say at the time. I wasn't looking for to the song to come out and make good mark, and it's just a personal statement at that time. And "So" is a song that I when I sing it at concert, people stop and they stop and everything stopped, like time stopped. People start listening, and then the emotions start coming out. Not only for me, but half the audience. They relate to this song.
Yes.
And in so many ways, "So" is just an emotional song, a great song that sometimes I just have to sit back and think about myself. How did I do that? But it was a very painful part of my life.
Really? Really? If I may, can we go into that a little bit? Because if you want to talk about it.
No, I don't talk about that.
Okay, no problem. But
personal.
it's no problem. But you know what though, that it's whatever it is, that's a very powerful song, and we all feel it. That is definitely. So I take it out of all the songs that that one has probably the most special place in your heart for you, in a way.
Probably, yeah, because a Cisco Kid was such a fun song to do. I wrote Cisco Kid. Me and Baby Brother was a song I wrote about a guy that I grew up with in Compton. I have to mention his name. His name is Philip Lamar.
Yeah, okay.
And he was killed in Vietnam.
Oh,
and
wow.
but he was one of the guys I grew up with. One of the homeboys grew up with. And when I say me and Baby Brother, we used to run together.
Mm-hmm.
It was drunk on one another. We headed for the corner. The corner was down at that McCrae's liquor store. And we still in high school and going down, how you do, going to get you a Coke 45 and take 2 sips and you buzzed up forever, But, you know how it is. You coming up with somebody like that. You get one of your homeboys that you grew up with, and then all of a sudden he's not there anymore, So that's me and Baby Brother.
Wow, that's all great songs. These are all songs that I always have to play. These are all songs that I love. I mean, I have my Best of War and all these songs always playing. They're always playing, But Bad Mother Trucker, Outlaw. I'm going to tell you a little of my favorites. Spill the Wine, my number one.
Okay.
Reason because it reminds me of when I was a child. It reminds me of a certain time, and that's what's good because you think of it this way: you added something to my life that is a part of it. Like you basically, in a way, I have these memories of when I was a child, but you're part of that memory, not realizing that you added to my memory.
Well, that's what's so cool about that I was able to be a part of something that changed people's lives, so many ways across the world. And, this is what I've done. So, as a part of this band.
Yeah. So I'm going to dive into this a little bit now is the Lowrider Band.
All right.
It's getting the Lowrider Band. So when did Lowrider Band begin?
Well, Lowrider Band started when we had a lawsuit with our management, and it got to be, when we started, we do trust these people, and you trust them with your life and everything, and so you start signing papers. You sign papers because you trust them, and not knowing that you're signing papers, you're signing this way, you're signing that way. Pretty soon you sign the name War away, and it's no longer yours.
Yeah.
So when it got to be that, lawsuits came about and we couldn't deal with the name War, deal with that anymore. We all walked out. And we thought if we stood together as a unit, we would have the clout and, the strength to come back and maybe regain that. But they were able to, bring back one of the guys that was with us. He went over to that side, and that was the keyboard player. I'm not mentioning his name. But he's out there. We're playing in the band now with a bunch of guys, They don't look like me. They don't look like Lee. They don't look like Harold or Beatty. They look like Lonnie Jordan's band. I said his name, but I didn't want to. But anyway, So in order for us to make a living and stuff and playing our music, we couldn't use the name War. They stopped us from using the name War. We can't say formally of War. So we had to just say, well, we call ourselves the Lowrider Band. We could play all the music. We got the faces, but name recognition is a lot in this business. And people hear the name War, they're not looking at who did it. They're looking at what we did. So they're looking at the history of War as being the guys on stage. And sometimes you just overlook that and they say, well, the War music is popular. This War music is strong. But those guys that are on the stage right now didn't create it. We did.
Yeah.
So the Lowrider Band are the real guys that created music, and the War Band is a bunch of substitutes.
Yeah, definitely wherever you're at, that to me is where it's at. Your presence on stage, you guys at every place you guys play at is amazing. I see the videos online and everything, and Lowrider Band is alive and is going nowhere. Yeah.
You got the key. I'm in the Lowrider Band. That's what makes a difference.
Yes.
And the whole big difference is I'm in that Lowrider Band. I'm the voice. Cisco Kid. I did all that, man. That's my voice. I ain't that other guy's voice.
Exactly. And here you are playing music that you produced, you wrote. So yeah, it's yours. To me, that's to me as a person, I want to hear. You could call yourself the Banana Band. But if you're on there, and it's whatever. It's like I know exactly what it is.
Well, when I'm doing some solo stuff, which I am doing with my son, and we're putting together. I asked him. I write all the time, and I asked him to write a song for me that would be sort of like different from Howard Scott music that so I could reach another audience. Mm-hmm. So he wrote a song for me, and it's called Morena. It's a very cool song. Really? Very, very cool song. And we're working on that right now. I think next time I come to California, we're going to finish it up. But you're going to like this one. It's real good dance tune.
I can't wait to hear it. Let me know. We'll play it here on Funk Fellas Radio.
Oh, you might be one of the first ones to get it then. Just
please. I'm begging.
Yeah. It's a great song.
It has some of the things that you've heard in the Spill of Wine, like that real sultry, sexy voice, Spanish voice, is there.
Nice. All right, you heard that, people. We got to get that. We're going to make sure we get that. I'm going to keep in contact with Howard. We're going to get that.
Yeah.
For sure. So that's good. So, right now, so where are you touring at right now, or where are a lot of your shows at right now?
Well, right now, my next show with the Lowrider Band is going to be up in San Francisco area. We got a show coming up on the 24th of September. Mm-hmm. And South San Francisco, wherever that is, it's for a park for the city of San Francisco. So we're playing with a local band up there.
Nice.
And we're going to throw down pretty hard if we're going to rock that bad boy. The Lowrider Band is one smoking band, but myself, when I'm coming out, I'm doing solo stuff. And Howard Scott on his own, man, is to be reckoned with. I'm starting a solo career, and I won't forget about the Lowrider Band. But I got to start doing things on my own because I have so many songs that I have to do that I could do when I'm on stage by myself that I can't do when I'm playing all that war music.
Of course, yeah. Wow. And when are you back here in Southern California? Because I got to make sure I make my trek out there to see you.
As a matter of fact, I have a show coming up in October, and Christina, where's that show going to be?
It's October 15th, and it's going to be in Ontario. At the it's Angel Baby show called Dedicated to You, and there'll be quite a few artists on there with him. You're going to have the Young Hot, last remaining original member. You're going to have, of course, you're going to have Howard Scott playing all his songs, and it's October 15th. I believe it's at something called CPAC, the California Education Performing Arts Center, something to that effect.
Yeah.
We'll post the flyer on your page, Louis.
Definitely, yeah. Everybody listening, and I will also be sharing this because I know I want to be there. I got to make sure I'm there.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting show.
Yeah, I've got to see. I got to meet you. A legend, a true legend, right here. I'm serious, a true legend. you know, and
Well, it'd be my pleasure to meet you, my friend. Come on out.
Oh,
We'll
definitely.
hang out. We'll go get a burrito. How about that?
there you go. You know what? My wife
And
makes
then-
excellent burritos. I'll have her make some for you. Hey,
Whoa, now you talking.
because I know
Wait,
anybody who
let
knows
me
you like the
tell
home
here,
cooking.
here, let me tell you, here's my love right here, okay? I have a show coming up here in Fort Worth, Texas, just for a friend.
Hmm.
And he can't afford to pay me Howard Scott, to come out. So I'm doing it for a friend. So the guys that are playing with me, I'll pay them. And I said, all you have to do, his name is Pastor Rick, and he's street pastor, but he has a whole amazing thing to go to Fort Worth. It's coming up this Saturday.
Uh-huh.
I said, Pastor Rick, all you have to do is bring me a burrito, and I'll play. And that's it. You paying me with a good burrito. It's got to be a good one.
It's about no Taco Bell stuff.
Oh, no.
No Taco Bell stuff.
Oh. Taco Bell, what the hell? Excuse me.
Yeah, you don't say that. Being raised in Southern California, you don't. That's a bad word.
Taco
Bell.
who?
What is that? Yeah.
I don't know. I've been at Taco Bell since I'm probably 5 years old.
Oh, buddy, but yeah, definitely. I gotta check that out, and everybody
come
listening.
on out. We can hang out for a minute. You don't have to bring me anything. Just come out, just hang out with me.
No, my wife right now being part of this and being part of my team and everything. She's gonna bring it out because she loves to cook.
Oh, if
So you're gonna get the real. You're gonna get the real deal, man.
Please, please, that would be great. I mean, just get me a Coke, a Pepsi, and a napkin. I'm there. I'm in love.
She's the kind of woman who bring you homemade horchata too.
Uh-oh. Just keep it simple. Maybe you might want to bring 2 burritos, so I might want to just bring one home with me.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, but that's just
So
great.
another show, Louis. Another show we got him coming out for is in November. We work with LaWanda Hawkins and
Yes,
Justice
yes.
for Murder Children. You've worked with us on that
Yes.
before.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing our 3-day music festival, November 4th, 5th, and 6th, I believe, this year in San Pedro, right there.
Oh
The
my
same spot right on the waterfront.
Oh my God! It's already been a year already. Oh wow.
Yeah, that's coming up. We'll be doing some fundraising in October for some stuff. We're trying to find a location here in Long Beach to do a fundraiser to raise some funds to fund some of those expenses. Like, we have to bring in all the sound equipment. We have to get we get a lot of people that will volunteer their time to come in and sing and perform. Howard has graciously agreed to come in and do that for us.
Well, let us
year.
know if Funk Fellas Radio can be part of that. Let us know if Funk Fellas Radio can be part of that. I'd love that.
Yeah, we'd really appreciate it. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Howard, I didn't catch what you were saying there.
I said that's my son out in California, Howard Scott Jr. He with anything he's out there grinding stuff, and I like the way he works and he handles stuff for me when I'm not in town.
And that's
yeah,
really
Howard Scotty, he's an awesome guy.
Scotty.
And we'll have the KG veterans they're supporting Howard on his.
Yeah, matter of fact, I like working with the KG veterans. That last show we did together where we rocked the house, and graciously they stopped me before I did Lowrider, because if I did Lowrider, people still would have been screaming.
Oh, exactly.
It was a rocking show, man. I went on and we lit that place up.
Oh, I bet. And
So there are some current videos of that up online, Louis, and we're also Howard's got his fan page, up and running. Howard E. Scott.
Howard
official
E.
fan
Scott
page.
official page. Everybody look that up. Howard E. Scott on
We
Facebook.
have everyone to put it. Yeah, look it up on Facebook, and please, like the page. We want to get more likes on the page. We're gonna, we're listing all of his footage there. I did some interviews with him as well. In the studio in San Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be putting those up, and talking about some of the stuff he's doing. Producing the new music. But we want to get that name Howard Scott out there because, like I said, there's other people up there doing the music that he created,
Yeah.
And Howard is the one that created that music.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Howard's the one who sang that music, and the fellas from the Lowrider band playing the music in the back for him. He's the main, he's the main guy, and he needs to get we're getting that name out there. And that's what we're doing with the Howard E. Scott official fan page.
Mm-hmm.
Find him on Facebook, send him a friend request. He wants to connect with his people. We had someone contact us from Compton. They're redesigning Compton High School, and they want his input. They want to meet with him, and they want his input on how to make it how to make it better for the future students that are going to attend Compton High.
Great.
So
Yeah.
he's going to be doing that, and we'd probably like to get him over to Compton High too. He's an alumni.
Oh, that's
So,
right. Yeah.
So that's kind of
I actually graduated too. Now I did graduate.
Yeah, 1964.
That's right.
64.
Yeah. So Howard, I have to say, he's a great man.
Mm-hmm.
Very humble and a very big supporter in the community. And his music is just a legacy from young to old. It crosses all ethnicities.
Yes.
African American. White. Asian. We got Tex Nakamura playing with us.
Oh yeah.
And the Chicanos love you.
Take the props.
Of course, yeah, Mexican Americans.
Don't forget us.
Everybody.
Yeah, definitely,
all quarters.
Christina's right. And I'm really, really glad that you took time to be on this show. Everybody is listening right now, and I know that they're just sitting back and they just have even more respect for you. The fact that you've done so much. I know a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of people don't know how much your involvement is in music and whatnot, but I know everybody. Please find it on Facebook. The page. I'm going to be sharing it also on our website. I'm going to be sharing this also on the chat and the radio. Make sure you like the page, share it, and and follow Howard Scott. I'm telling you, a legend, and to have somebody on this show like this is just amazing. Like I said, a lot of Mexican Americans are listening. I know right now they're on the top of the world right now listening to you on this show and are very happy. And the feedback of you being on this show just goes to show you how much you're loved and your music is loved.
Well, I thank you for a very, very, very comfortable and in-depth and a good interview. That's a very pertinent, good questions. And the stories you brought out of me, it's very easy to do. But I'll say right now, I appreciate talking to you, and thank you very, very, very much. And you got me with that Bad Brother track, because I actually haven't heard this song in probably over 10 years. So
really. Well, you know what? You get to hear it. I'm going to put a big mix together of all the music that you've been involved in, composed, written, played on. It's all going to be played in just a few minutes by me. A big mixture. I hope I do it justice. It means a lot to me that I'm able to put together this music mix the way I am for you. So, I really want to honor you on this show, and it just means a lot. And I know right now, I bring up my mom a lot because, she's one of the reasons why I do what I do. Her and my dad just put music into me, and I know she was so excited when she knew you were going to be on the show. Please tell my mom, Yvonne Medina, hi, please.
What's your mom's name?
Yvonne.
Hey, Yvonne. Listen, it was a pleasure talking to your son. And from you being a fan of mine, I'm a fan of yours right now. So, Yvonne, much love, and thank you very much.
Oh, man, right now she's loving this. She's loving this because you know what? I'm not kidding. I'll be doing some events and she goes to, and she always comes to me and she goes, hey, don't forget to play Spill the Wine. Always. And when your mom tells you to do something, you're going to do it.
I think so. Hey, listen, one more thing. Like I said, I started a radio show here in Texas called Fishbowl Radio, FBRN.US, FBRN, Fishbowl Radio Network.us, and I'm in the Red Bowl every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Pacific time, 6 o'clock Texas time, and 7 o'clock East Coast time. So in between that, for all your listeners on the West Coast, get a chance to tune me, and we do some interesting stuff too.
Yes.
I like what you do because you're good at it, and like what I'm good at songwriting stuff. But the radio station I'm doing, it's kind of new, but I'll get there.
You know what? This is new too. This is only 2 years old. So,
boy, let me get 2 years old. I'll be talking like you.
So you make sure that you check out.
I'm gonna interview you in 2 years.
Oh, you're gonna have no listeners on that show. You better make sure you don't do that.
Yeah. All right, make sure that everybody says Bad Mother Trucker, okay?
Bad Mother Trucker. You know.
There you go.
There you go. And you know what? Everybody, make sure you listen to him Wednesdays. He gave you the information. Check it out. I'm checking it out. You need to. Seriously. It's about supporting each other, and I support anything that Howard Scott's doing this. And he's an amazing man, you know. And I love it because I feel like, you know what? I feel like you're because you're here. You're one of the natives like me. You know what I mean? I feel like you're my neighbor from across the way that you know all about me because your music reflects it. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, we've been talking long enough, man. It seems like we do know each other.
He's
I'm gonna make you guys meet for sure. I'm gonna make sure you guys meet.
All right.
Well, yeah, he's probably gonna come over and get some burritos later on tonight. You know.
I can't get it tonight, but I'm sure they're gonna be thinking about it.
That's for sure. But yeah, everybody, please, you know, make sure you tune in to his show. You know, I'm not gonna tell people to listen to your music because they already listen to your music and have been for years. So,
but
you know,
you get to hear the stories when you hear me talking
yes,
about songs, how I wrote the songs, you know, different things.
Exactly. And, you know, everybody make sure, and that's what's so important about having a show like this is that music, unfortunately, has a lot of its bureaucracy involved and its, you know, red tape and whatnot. And a lot of people don't realize that sometimes things aren't how they seem. So you make sure you realize sometimes who does these songs and who produces them and whatnot. And that's what I like doing. I like to clarify a lot of this. I've had a lot of other artists in very similar situations as you are in on this show. Yeah. And, you know, and that's what it is. You need to give a chance to be able to say, hey, you know, this is what I do. And you got to be able to get credit for what you do and what you've done.
Right.
And that's why I do this show. That's why I like having a lot of you artists on here like this because you need to speak. You are, you know, the generation that actually knew creativity in music. You guys changed the game, how music was for so many years. And there's never going to be anything like that again. That creativity, that sound, that mesh of music. I mean, that's why it's so important to have you on the show.
My pleasure, man.
DJ Medina.
I was once out strolling one very hot summer's day, when I thought I'd lay myself down to rest in a big field of tall grass. I lay there in the sun and felt it caressing my face as I fell asleep and dreamed. I dreamed I was in a Hollywood movie, that I was the star of the movie. This really blew my mind. The fact that me, an overfed, long-haired, leaping gnome, should be the star of a Hollywood movie. But there I was. I was taken to a place, the Hall of the Mountain King. I stood high upon a mountain top, naked to the world, in front of every kind of girl. There was long ones, tall ones, short ones, brown ones, black ones, round ones, big ones, crazy ones. Out of the middle came a lady. She whispered in my ear something crazy. She said, myself, what could that mean? Am I going crazy? Or is this just a dream? Now wait a minute, I know I'm lying in a field of grass somewhere. So it's all in my head. And then I heard her say one more time, spill the wine, take that pearl. Spill the wine and take that pearl. Spill the wine, take that pearl. Spill the wine, take that pearl. I could feel hot flames of fire roaring at my back. As she disappeared, but soon she returned. In her hand was a bottle of wine, in the other a glass. She poured some of the wine from the bottle into the glass and raised it to her lips. And just before she drank, she said,
Standing on the boulevard, I'm thinking clean. My pockets full of green. If you ask me in
a making for do the trucking man. 'Cause it's summertime is here. Yes, it's summer, my time of year.
you when you drink my wine. Why can't we be friends? 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 I see you walking down in Chinatown. I call you, but you could not look around. Why can't we be friends? 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 I pay my money to the welfare line. I see you standing in it every time. Why can't we be friends? 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 The color of your skin don't matter to me. As long as we can live in harmony. Why can't we be friends? 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 I kinda like to be the president. So I can show you how your money's spent. Why can't we be friends? 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 Sometimes I don't speak right. But yet I know what I'm talking about. Why can't we be friends? 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 I know you're working for the CIA. They wouldn't have you in the mafia. Take me to your place of space. I'm sick and tired of the rat race. On a rocket ship, no time to wait. I just want to gravitate. It's out of sight. It's out of sight. It's out of sight. It's out of sight. It's gone. It's gone. It's out of sight. It's out of sight. It's out of sight. It's out of sight. It's gone. It's gone. I'll take you out to see the place where the man in the moon has a smiling face. You don't have to wear no fancy lace. Just a funky feel and a lot of taste. It's out of sight. It's out of sight. It's out of sight. It's out of